So today we have opportunity to find out. So ethical hacking. So we know what hacking is. It's something bad, but there are people who are doing that for good purposes, for needs of users, for needs of information system business owners, and there are good angels on this side who are fighting for cybersecurity and or security as users. I will start with thanks to Mill for wonderful premises. Thanks to Infogram and Prezi for food and snacks and nice web networking that we can expect tonight. And this is agenda. 3 speakers, as I mentioned, and one important thing, community announcements. So if you have any announcements for our community, like if you're looking for colleagues, co-founders, people to pair up with, and I don't know, go through online courses, that is the moment for announcements. And networking. As a short reminder, what Riga TechGirls is, we are the first community in Latvia dedicated to educating and inspiring more women to join IT, because there are not enough of them, and we really like technology as a path of our careers, so we inspire more women to take this path. And why we're doing this? Because statistics on labor force and talent in their future is a really depressing scene, but in a few years we might lack 16,000 of employees in IT. And the students who could fill up these future free positions, the interest is really low, especially among women. So that's another encouragement to fight on these topics. And one recent research showed that interest among pupils, 8th graders, and especially among girls in 8th grade, is dramatically low. Only 2% of girls might consider to take career in IT. So that's why we're here. Really spread the word, and let's see what are the opportunities in IT. These are links you can follow in Riga TechGirls activities. The main activities are on Facebook, so events like this, probably you know. And then we have a closed community group, which is for our community members. That's a place where we share special offers, secret invitations to different events, promo codes for online courses, etc. So back to the topic. 3 speakers, 3 different experiences. One more or less academic and career path, an overview of the whole field, which will be the last speech. In the middle, we'll have a personal story of career path in IT and what does it mean, cybersecurity. And the first speaker, Nora, welcome on stage.
Cognitive security.
Cognitive security.
I'm not an ethical hacker. Don't ask me ethical hacking questions, please. Thank you. Hello, I'm Nora. I'm a software engineer at the NATO Stockholm Center of Excellence. And today I'll talk about cognitive security. Word of caution, this is my first RTG. So I'm going to tell you how I got into the field of IT in general. So significant life events that led me into IT. In the order we will cover them: Gladiator, Google Translate, no syntax errors, Intel Vision, and Aldermore. So I think I was 7 or 8. My mom showed me Gladiator, and I liked it so much that I wanted to be Gladiator myself. So I wanted to fight for justice against tremendous struggle, and just be a hero. I think soon after I saw Gladiator, I found out that it's not a viable career option. So the years that followed were mostly, I was dreaming about, being an interior designer or architect, or I think for a period of time I wanted to be a florist as well. But then, I think after college, I took a year out because I didn't know quite exactly what I wanted to do. Was kind of interested in human mind, how human mind works. So I thought, okay, I'm going to study neuroscience in UK because my best friend was there. So it's quite a new field. So not many universities offer it. So the one I chose, which is Kiel University, very picturesque place, they didn't do it as single honors. So I had to pick something else. So I was scrolling down the course catalog list, and I found computing, and I Google translated it. And in Latvian, actually, computing is skaitļošana, and I kind of liked math, so I thought, oh, this is great. Neuroscience and a little bit of math, this is going to be great. Then I went to the first lesson, which was called programming. I realized I had taken something I did not realize I had taken, but because I was too embarrassed to admit that I've taken the course without reading the course material, I thought, I'll just, stick through it. And the moment I realized I want to be a programmer was when my first Java program compiled. It was a hangman game. Oh, sorry, I'm getting emotional. So it was a hangman game. So the moment I saw it was in BlueJ as well. So the moment I saw class compiled, no syntax error, is when I understood I wanted to be a programmer. That was followed by an internship at Intel. Mostly I was in the logistics department, so I was developing systems that forecast warehouse space. Then I worked at BitJam, a tiny startup, mostly WordPress sites, some non-native mobile applications. After that, I worked for a bank as a performance analyst, mostly stuff for the organization, the management. Was really cool because I do like programming. I like solving problems. So it was satisfying for a moment. But in each job, at some point, I would ask questions like, "How does it help humanity? How am I fighting for justice?" And basically, all the questions the inner gladiator in me was asking. And that's how I think. That's how I landed in cognitive security, which turns out is a field, so I can kind of link it to this presentation, to this event. What is cognitive security? Well, cybersecurity it is the protection of computer systems, networks, and data. Large part of cybersecurity is issues of social engineering. So last year, 64% of global firms actually had a cyber disruption, and 57% of those cyber disruptions, primary reason was social engineering. So why? Because it's easy. One of my idols, Ralph Echemendia, I think he said that. So it's easy because you can't patch human stupidity. You can patch software, but you can't patch human stupidity. So always use the people. Cognitive security emerged from social engineering because it uses the same, instead of using just social deception, it uses the cognitive biases people have to achieve social influence. If social engineering is using social deception and just, humans being humans and stupid to achieve, to gain information that can be used for fraudulent purposes, then cognitive insecurity would exploit the cognitive biases in public groups. And the goal of cognitive security is actually, social influence in itself. Very theoretical. Okay, some examples. I'll try not to make this, propaganda at all. But okay, so an example of cognitive insecurity could be witnessed recently in Germany, where basically a girl went and filed a false accusation against the asylum seeker. Before the case was checked, it got leaked to news sites, and it caused lots of disruptions. Russian minority in Germany basically mobilized and started protesting in the streets, all because of a false accusation that never really happened. So that is an example of, cognitive insecurity. Well, how does that even link to cybersecurity? Well, first of all, it happens in cyberspace. Second, it these things, you can, they happen, they spread in cyberspace, and you can also mitigate them in cyberspace, and we'll get into that in a minute. So that's one example. Another example is dark Facebook ads during the US election. So basically, you know how social media is super popular, everyone spends more and more time on social media. Social media gets their money from ad revenues, so obviously they have these mechanisms to serve content to large masses of people. These mechanisms can be exploited. These mechanisms can be exploited against people themselves. For example, during the U.S. election in 2016, over $100,000 were used. No, over $100,000 were spent on socially divisive issues that came from, well, on ads that targeted socially divisive issues that came from a network of linked ingenuine accounts or fake accounts. So some examples of the ads they were displaying, well, socially divisive, against Muslim people, some against Hillary. Who does it? Please ask me questions, maybe during now, like, for example, now. I don't know if it actually links the whole subject in your head, because it does link in my head. So who does it? Well, there are actually a lot of commercial companies that all they do is they mitigate, they try to detect and mitigate the risks of cognitive insecurities. For example, well, IBM, obviously, they're huge, they do loads of things, but they have this product called IBM Watson, and the whole point of it is to gather data and to use artificial intelligence to detect in a timely manner cognitive insecurities, so that people who are in positions to mitigate such risks can take appropriate actions. Omelas is another one, you know, just gathering data about people and what they do online, and then, you know, mitigating, well, detecting whether there's a risk and then mitigating that risk. Silo Breaker, Maltego, that's not really, I mean, they're just the software, but it's widely used in the field for, you know, finding things out. How does it look? Well, this is my last slide, actually. I work in cognitive security, so if you ask me what I do on a daily basis, so it's data mining using machine learning algorithms to train to recognize certain things. What else? Some bit of manual digital forensics and lots of natural language processing. So working with text, things like that. Yeah. Does it make sense? Does it actually make sense what this field is? Yeah? Do you have any questions? Do you want a job in cognitive security? It's not.
Gladiator, maybe.
Sorry?
I want to be gladiator, maybe.
Okay, well. Yeah, I think for a programmer to work in cognitive security, it's a closer match to being a gladiator than it was before in a bank or forecasting warehouse space. Yes, please.
You do something to secure yourself.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I have become more paranoid since I've taken up this job, I'll be honest. So I hope, yeah. Well, I did change all my Facebook settings and my Facebook name, so it's not Nora Bitterness on Facebook. And so, yeah, I guess, yeah, I'm just being like...
Maybe you can you have some fast tips how to be more secure.
Edit your Facebook settings. Make your email not searchable, so people, even if they use Facebook API or they try to track you via Maltego, they can't. If you disable the searching by email, like that, it will not come up. Hide your friends list, I'd say. Something, you know, people often do in Maltego, they try to figure out the networks of people that are taking part in conversation or whatever, so it's very easy to do if you don't hide your friends list. So hide your friend list, hide your email. Don't ever verify. You know how annoying that Facebook Messenger thing is, like, you know, be secure, add your phone number, don't do that. Like you don't need the phone number there. What else? And then the general stuff, be careful what you read, cross-check, fact check, and stuff like that. So yeah.
Thank you.
And don't share fake news. Yeah. Don't play into the cognitive insecurities of the larger public. Does it make sense? Any more questions? No? Yes, please.
What do you do at work on a daily basis?
I gather data. Not manually. I write scripts that gather data, and then I write scripts that do certain things. For example, detect which accounts are bots, or I gather not cookies, but I gather what sort of cookies the sites use. Obviously, I narrow down on sites of interest that, maybe, for example, show this information. I don't know, just an example. And then, mostly data stuff, gathering and then analyzing, but not manual, like programmatic, and using machine learning. Yes, please.
I understood that you studied abroad.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
Canada?
Oh no, UK.
Okay. What is the closest possible education here in Latvia to study something similar? Would that be psychology degree or?
I'd say go for IT still.
Right.
I don't know what courses there are available in Latvia. Maybe you can help me out there. So the bachelor.
Masters.
Masters. Okay.
I have those.
Yeah. So is there something like? I think you would have to start with like
There is
very
big data module, something like it's like for
Yeah.
masters. You
Yeah.
can go and see there's data mining courses,
Yeah.
artificial intelligence,
yeah.
and it's actually
Yeah, study that. Yeah, sounds bang on. You need that. So.
yeah, big data, analyzing
Yeah.
data.
I didn't study that, but like I just did computer science bachelor's, so no master's. But that sounds very relevant. Yes. Any more questions?
You'll be around the networking part, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
So more questions. No one
Okay.
will catch her and ask for some more info. Thank you. So let's hear our second story from Zanda. You want to eat it? Here's Porter.
Yeah, somehow my presentation will be quite like similar to the previous one. So to start with, my name is Anna, and I work as security test engineer at Corporate Solutions. So Corporate Solutions is one of the biggest leading consulting company in Latvia, and mostly works with state sector. So yeah, security is here under corporate consulting. Yeah. So short bio. How I became this security test engineer. During my high school, I also didn't know what I want to do. So I studied to become a doctor. So I had chemistry and biology 4 times a week. During the 11th grade, I decided, no, it's not for me, I will study law. And I ended up studying IT in Riga Technical University. So I've always liked work during, I was working during 12th grade. When I started studying in Riga Technical University, I also worked as usually as waitress or bartender, and then I got a call from a family friend, and he asked me to work at Latvia Post Bank as IT project manager to help him, like be his right hand. And I ended up developing security documents for IT admins and security manager. Great relationship with those guys. The thing is, when you're developing documentation and you're kind of developing it all the time, it gets boring. So I was searching for the next big thing. I knew I don't want to program, but as I had like this great relationship with IT admins, oh, this is what I want to do. So I was searching in the field like IT administering, something like that. Testing, not so much, but I saw this job, IT security testing. Now, I didn't know what I'm signing up for, but when I sat there in an interview, I understood. Wow, this is why I actually started to study IT, because everything they told me, it's penetration testing, becoming an ethical hacker. So what's an ethical hacker? It's the same hacker, but it does everything based on methodology, which is usually with, how to say, it's with business, you have like contract. You have contract and methodology and everything. So
If somebody orders or asks you to actually rank your page to check how secure it
yep,
is.
pretty much like that. So yeah, it's ethical hacking. So I'm here working at Corporate Solutions since third year from my university, and now I'm studying in Latvian university masters, the big data module as well. Yeah, data mining, big data, also artificial intelligence. So yeah, it's really interesting. I don't know how it, like security, you cannot get like masters in Latvia. You can have like IT management in I think Bangkok school, but I was searching like bachelor's is okay, but I might want to have a master's degree, so I went to the Latvian university and I do like data. So the daily routine I have is information system security testing, based on methodologies, using loads of tools. As I started working, as a security test specialist, but now I'm IT management specialist. So yeah, so IT process analysis. What does it mean? It means checking user rights, checking if the correct users are using their correct user rights, checking change management issues. It's all part of the. So security documentation, of course, IT risk analysis, and IT security training platform. So as Nora said before, one of the biggest threats is the user, and how can we patch the user? It will be a bit further in my presentation. But what do you need to become a security manager? So of course you need technical skills. You need to know OWASP, which is open web application software platform. Yeah, SQL, of course, general programming, scripting. You need to work methodologically. You need to have this analytical diagnostic skills, and you need to understand, of course, system architecture, administration, management. But the thing is, IT security is people-based, people-oriented field. So you also need communication. You need to know how to clearly articulate these complex concepts to managers and to IT specialists, because you need to use teeny tiny words for business managers to understand the same issue, because they usually give money to IT specialists to fix the problem. So teeny tiny words. So, as I said before, and as Nora already said, securing the user is one of the most difficult parts. So, as you see, it's kind of not old, but pretty much the same numbers. But about 80% of initial intrusions are rated as low difficulty, and 70% of threats are targeted user devices. Do you know still the most popular password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like for 10 years in a row. Of course, the next on the list is password. Next on the list is QWERTY. Oh, of course, there are some systems which uses more complex passwords, and then they use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons the user is one of the biggest security trend. There was this trend that software issues are coming low and the user-related issues are coming up. So what can we do? We can educate and test the user, but if we educate the user, we can how to educate. We can bring all the people in the one big room, like here. Tell us there's a person standing and explaining how wrong it is to share your passwords, to put your passwords under your keypad. I've seen it. Like, I'm an IT security test engineer. I go to a customer. I sit next to one IT person, and the next one goes outside, leaves his computer unlocked. The passwords are under the keypad. So yeah, people are careless at all. And but after the education, there is like 5 months, and usually people forget about it. So how to test? Simulated phishing attacks, like sending fake phishing emails and checking if the person opens them. You need to learn, make people critical thinking. That's a big problem nowadays. Loads of people, they cannot know. They don't know, is this fake news or is it not? So yeah, of course. System updates and backups. But yeah, and that's why we have this security platform. It's one of the projects I'm currently working on. It was cloud study, and we're developing how to educate this user the biggest threat. That's enough. IT risk analysis, you go to the customer, first you evaluate their business process, and based on their business process with them, with business managers and IT managers, you evaluate the technical risks and the business risks. Because, for example, we have this Horizon, which is accounting, yeah. Who does know what kind of data does the accounting system has? Of course, business managers and IT managers don't know which are valuable information and which is not so. So risk analysis also, when you conduct a security test, you can find a problem. So if you have this problem, you have to define what the problem is, what kind of impact it does to your business, and recommendations how can you kind of lower the risk and what to do. Yeah, pretty much that. Yes?
How much time do you spend proportionally on technical issues and on the people issues?
For now, my projects are now more with people, but we have also more security person our team, and he does more like security testing, basically. Yes.
Do you recommend any password managers to your clients? Any specific ones? Or you still expect users to remember what passwords they use?
So how to remember passwords? You can use these password managers. but you need to have this strong password also for it. I don't remember. I don't use password managers, but I use, for example, how to make a secure password. You can have this, I don't know, so my name is Zanda, and you can make this password quite strong, like using only first 3 words. It's like one sentence, then you have this second sentence. I'm an IT securities test engineer, so I use big, like the small caps, little caps, and then you can. Also, one good thing is you have this one strong password, and you have this changeable part for the systems you use, and one strong password, and you know, if you log to Facebook, it's your strong password with I don't know, FB in the middle, like 1, 2, 3 ports and something like that. And for Twitter, you use the same password and with TW in the middle.
Roughly, how many passwords do you use on a weekly basis? Like, to the nearest 10.
Loads. I don't know.
Okay, more questions. Again, in networking, that's the last question.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nika. But you have to stay around and network and ask more questions. Thank you, Zanda. And we're ready for the last presentation. And we reveal all slides finally. Welcome, Cynthia.
Hello, my name is Cynthia. I work in 3 roles. I'm security manager in fintech, and my daily tasks are handle unresolved incidents, risk assessment, and take care about information resources. And of course, security culture is a very important thing. Your habits.
Speak up a little bit. It's a bit hard to hear.
Okay. Security culture is people's habits, attitudes, and so on. And I organize security awareness trainings for changing something in this area. But in weekdays, I work at university with students, develop master and degree programs in cybersecurity. We have this. And of course, students' enrollment process, conflict management, and all academic things is my weekdays option. Cybersecurity is a complex issue, and it's not about technical things, I think. It's our mindset, it's our thinking, it's our daily routine in space, it's our health, I think. Yes, and it's a problem when we speak about businesses. I think it's a top business risk too. And when we look in some risk indexes, Lloyd Index, for example, it's a second place. Sometimes I see what security, cybersecurity, IT security, it's all mixed together. And people don't understand the differences between these things. I would like to show only one moment. Privacy and security, it's not the same. I think you know, due to this GDPR bubble we know about, privacy is so important. We would like to set up security requirements in Facebook and so on and so on and so on. But yes, privacy is a bigger, it's our freedom of expression and so on. But security, yes, secure our information resources and of course habits, relationships, shopping. Yes. Cybercrime, the second place. It's a business. Cyber criminals, not stupid people, and I think it's not only scripty kiddies. I think it's a very emotional business with special crypto infrastructure and so on. And problem is that human errors, it's a daily routine. We have security breaches every day. 2 seconds for phishing your email or hack your password, if it's poor, of course. Where is the problem in this context? In this introduction and so on, we have deficit in professionals. We have not this cybersecurity professionals because it's a new thing for Latvia. Not for America, of course, but for Latvia it's a new thing, and we don't understand labor markets issues. We would like to align with educator needs and current workplace capabilities, and what WannaCry showed us to. It's a big problem with technical skills too, for IT sector, for example. You know about WannaCry?
No, what is WannaCry?
No, it's a hacking waves in summer when we have those attacks in all critical infrastructures around the world. Stop police stations, stop health systems, all critical systems for our daily lives. Yeah, it's a big event. But the third moment I would like to highlight. Only 11% in cybersecurity are women. Oh, girls, come on. It's cool domain for profession. I think everyone could jump in this.
So what's your take when there's only 11? Why do more girls choose to go in cybersecurity?
I think it's scary.
Scary.
Scary because you could work together with men who and think about IT, it's men's sector, it's men world, yes, and girls every second need to prove, yes, I know something about cybersecurity, yes, I could, yes, I have, and that's things around this. So, but I look in IBM, I like this new approach in hiring. You know, good moments. Some recruiters understand these skills deficits and try to new approaches and find youngsters, engage in cybersecurity youngsters and how it's work. Hiring persons with entry level and divide these persons problem solvers, technicals and communicators. Okay, after 2 years, with some supporting programs, develop skills, yes, and these cyber warriors could be better. Yes, employers would like to find superheroes in cybersecurity, but it means highly skilled, with background, with experience 5 years, but where?
Unemployed as well.
Yes, or human resource, those things, but when finding some narrow specific IT, it's a cybersecurity. No, it's not. It's not the same. In some small industries, small management entities, I see, but cybersecurity or security is additional role only, not full stop at all. It's a problem. But we see what cyber job openings only rise. This is prediction for Frost and Sullivan. Yes, and this role every moment changing because dynamic environment, because threat landscape changing. And yesterday's skills is old and you need tomorrow's skills. So dynamic. So, and Latvia, think about this. Think about this and establish cybersecurity paths with formal education programs for students, with security awareness campaigns, and of course with professional trainings. And yeah, this is highlighted some formal things. We have IT security law, where we have responsibilities for these persons. We have professional standards where skills are listed. We have cybersecurity strategy, we have vision for this, and we have some professional degree programs in cybersecurity management. One is at BA school, Panku Ausskola. It's a master degree program, professional master degree. It means internship is so important, hands-on skills important. important, work in industry, work with industry leaders together, yeah, and master thesis at the end, of course. What we gave degree and qualification. It means that after this you are ready for labor market, in entry position of course, but basics is okay. Curriculum elements consist of CISM. It's a very popular information security management professional certificate, what is broad in the world developed, and we based this curriculum based on these skills. Of course, America cybersecurity professional workforce standard is okay too, and we take all good things in our program. And we balance it, because hard skills is a help, okay, but we need soft skills. Because IT guys in dark corridors could not communicate with business, could not clearly say why we need 1,000 euros per this system invested this moment, or why we need to mitigate this risk or that. Communication is very important. Argumentation, of course, critical thinking, legal skills, yeah. And think about new regulations, yes, how to communicate to the auditors and so on. Yes, this is very, very critical skills. And business skills too, of course. Security, economic, project management, and privacy of data, and strategic management. Hard skills consist of crisis, incident, and risk management, cybersecurity professional skills, critical infrastructure protection, cybersecurity policy development, cyber investigations. So, in this moment, due to GDPR, I think, in labor market, we have penetration testing as a deficit. Because ENISA would like to, what every cybersecurity, every product should be tested from cybersecurity perspective. And penetration tester is the person who could do this. And if they see what kind of skills we need, information security, Java, Linux, Python, software development, SQL injections, and so on, yes, it's a common things. And yes, bachelor degree. For penetration tester, it's enough. I would like that you say something about these issues and open please your mobile gadgets and take part in my cyber skills survey.
So you have to go to slido.com, enter this code, K927.
Yes, and
then you
tell me, what is your deficit in your organization from this cyber?
Wi-Fi clusters in the world, there's no Riga, no Riga, no Riga.
No, I haven't results. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, cloud security. This is your highlight. Okay. Okay. What else? Application security specialist. Yes, of course. Thank you. So 1 minute, please, and then we finish it. Security analyst. Yes, because you.
Do you know the difference between all of them? You also like.
I show you one fantastic tool, but give me some minute. Application security on second place. thank you for your voting, and I could compare these results with others. So I would like to show you some specific tool when you understand differences between these professions. This is Cyber Seek Pass, and in this you can find the direction of profession, level of position. This is entry, for example, cyber crime analyst or investigator, or incident analyst is entry level position. Then it's a second step or so on. In this box you can see what kind of skills you need for this, what kind of education, background, and so on, and what kind of certifications, professional certifications. It's an alternative for this profession. Yes, this tool is very useful if you think how and when you could jump in cybersecurity domain. Thank you. Any questions to Cynthia? We could take 2 questions and then network. There's one question.
Regarding Latvia, I guess the situation is quite bleak because we are in dire need of these kinds of specialists, and the awareness that we need them is only growing. Have you noticed like more students as the years passes? Do you think the market will be able to match this vacuum?
So we have specialists, we have community of cybersecurity. I manage this community, ISACA. I know we have little 200 specialists, professionals actually, with certification and so on. But we have students in 2 programs. One program is a BA in Riga. Second will be in a regional university, Vidzemes-Augstskola. And this will be new because we think about penetration testing program, but in master degree level. Yes.
So you're thinking?
Be prepared for future.
Okay. So it's quite hopeful.
But if you think about career, 2 year in a master degree program, it's okay, I think, for preparing the new profession and so on.
But actually from the other side, like most companies just want to do, develop me a website or something. They don't care about the security, and for them to at least think about hiring people that's security, well, it's harder. And also, like if I want to choose career, unless I want to be a gladiator and save the world, so I just look at that job description, like security analyst, and I see no active like job openings because everybody wants just to develop a website on PHP or something.
Yeah, state thinks about this a moment and develop some minor courses in cybersecurity and put in all programs. For example, in IT, for software developers, put some cybersecurity modules, and for all students, I think basic is a basic. It's our health check in cyberspace. I think we have program in kindergarten, esidrosh.le for youngsters and so on. We have different spots for every target group. Think about this and take care. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. More questions, networking. Hopefully, Cynthia will. So we've heard all 3 presentations. I hope we have slightly more clear picture of what cybersecurity is. What is ethical hacking? Is that a term? And what can we do, like basic things, to choose better password? And for me, the kind of most positive outcome of this meetup is seeing different professions that women can have in IT. Because when you ask the 8th grader what job in IT means, it's a guy who fixes computers. But today we saw 3 wonderful women sharing their career path and showing that this is possible, this is interesting. This is for you too, I'm showing on the live stream. So yeah, I hope that more and more women will be interested in IT, and we share these examples in meetups similar like this. And thank you to all speakers for sharing their stories, finding time, coming here at this late hour, and caring about the issue, topic as such. But that's not it. We have Edita, who is our community manager, and she has things to say.
Cool. Hi, everybody. A lot of you already know me. I really want to say great thanks to all the guys that have come here and joined us today. That's a great first step, and I'm asking you to do the second step. Do share the work that Riga TechGirls do amongst your friends and your feeds, because this is an organization open for all genders. Just basically the topic that we're looking at is how to increase the number of women in IT, so supporting, and we cannot do that without everybody being involved. Like, it's not enough that just girls come together and kind of like cheer each other up. It's actually needed that the guys come and cheer for us as well. So thank you so much for being here tonight and keep spreading the word. Right, so I'm the community lead in this organization. Quite often you see me at the end of the organizations where meetups and other events where I ask you to do random stuff. I will do that in a second. But in the Riga TechGirls community page, which is a closed group, we invite everybody to join in, and that's where we share information on things that are happening around the IT industry that are relevant to our community. And a lot of times it's either workshops or some free tickets that we give away. So this month they're coming up. This week is actually LIGTA, Latvian Information Communication Association's e-Digital Week, Digital Skill Week. So if you Google e-Prasmu nedēļa, e-Skills Week, there you'll see plenty of events happening throughout the Riga. And actually tomorrow is the ICT Specialists Conference in the Microsoft Innovation Center in Valdemara, Bulvārs, from 9 o'clock till 2 o'clock, open for everybody for free. So if everybody find and spot some interesting topics, do go there today, this week. Next month we have UX Riga coming up, so we'll have some more information. So in May it's coming up, so not next month quite, I'm already living in April. So do follow that. There'll be some tickets also here for our community, and probably some more announcements on that topic. Next meetup is planned for April 25th. We'll still to debate on the place, but the topic is artificial intelligence and machine learning. So if you have an excellent female speaker for this topic, do give a shout to me, or just write in Facebook to Riga TechGirls. Probably it will be me or Alisa or Anna reading that, and we'll respond to you. And do we have any more announcements from the community? And we're looking for amazing job partners. There's a cool hackathon coming up in the region. There's something great that your organization is doing in the next few weeks that you want to share with everyone who's here today. Great, so we'll move to the fun part. And in Riga TechGirls, I really see the biggest strength is actually in meeting new people. And it is scientifically proved. There's an article saying that, especially for women, once there's a network, they tend to strive in their careers 4 times more. So having professional networks is really important. And building a professional network is actually a skill, and it's something that you have to work for. It doesn't just happen. Like, you don't just walk in the hairdresser and accidentally find another ethical hacker who talks about her profession on a daily basis with her hairdresser. Maybe, but not. It's that very random. So today I would really encourage everybody to leave this room with at least 3 new phone numbers or Facebook connections. I'll check by the exit. Okay? To make you're like, I don't even know everybody. It's like, try to find the 3 people you don't know in this room. To make it a bit easier, we have got some wine and cakes because it's girls in IT, okay? It's not beers and pizza. Another stereotype. And lastly, before you stand up, turn to the person next to you and share one thing that you have learned today and one question that you're going to be leaving this room with, or you will want to Google once you leave this room. It can be the person next to you or behind you, but do spend 5 minutes in your seats right now, so I see that you're talking, and once it's going to get really loud, I'll kind of scream, food!
Can we have another assignment? Like, really short one, it's max up to 2 minutes. Can you take all your phones and fill the survey and leave feedback for us? Because we make these events together and we want to make them better. There you can rate each speaker and leave comments for us. So you can type the link now. We can reserve 2 minutes for this or fill this later. But please, please, please give us feedback. It's really important to us. That's all.
So I'll wait for people to write for 1 minute.
2 minutes.
Well, I'll just exaggerate. It's really, you're like so tech savvy, you can all just like scan it with your finger now. It's just like 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. Don't read it. Just 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. Yeah, you can do music, you can speak over, no problem. There is another great meetup tomorrow here on gamification. So, see if you want to attend that, just Google Mill, or Riga TechGirls also has shared it. So, one question and one thing that you have learned today. One thing that you have learned today and one question for today. Share, get off talking, and 3 phone numbers, so 3 Facebook connections today. Happy talking, there is wine and cakes and some cheese. 3 new connections, what you've learned, 1 thing and 1 question. And thank you, I still don't hear you talking. I don't see you talking. I don't see it.
Yeah, we never talk, and I'm still writing very seriously
The feedback.
Yeah.
It's like, make that woman off the stage.
Please!
I'll read that tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Key direct now.
Yes.